How we doing, folk? Today we're fitting the T4 with a new diesel heater. I think I've spotted the place I'm going to put it. Let's just have a little look what we got in the box. There's the heater itself. Bottom of it. That don't look too bad. It's not the cheap ass green stuff that people moan about. Wiring looks alright. Loads of bits and pieces, some tube, exhaust box. The plate to whack it on with. Seems like I got one of these super cheap controllers. I don't know how good they are, but it's not a lot for it to go wrong, really, is it? On, off, and turn it up or not. Got the pump. I think that's the air intake. And where we're going to put it on a T4. I mean, I've got obviously the rock and roll beds in there. This cupboard here, this is where I'm going to put the fuel tank, so I'm going to have to go through the floor with the fuel pipe. But from what I've had a look underneath, if I whack that about there, take up this bit of carpet, and there's some rotten wood underneath. Look at that, lovely dirty old slag. So I'm going to cut that wood back from around about here back to here and whack the heater right in the back there. So the air intake will be in that corner, the output will be over there. Should be a piece of piss. Let's see. Right, first job, cut the carpet out. Right, next is cut that bit of wood out. Next page, chop this shit out. Oh, I hope there ain't any wires and stuff under there. We'll come back to that when that's chopped out. Watch the magic of fucking television. Woo! Gosh! So we've given it a clean up, chopped out that dirty old bit of wood, and see we've got a little bit of surface rust in places. So next we're going to treat the rust and paint it. Okay, next stage completed. We've used some, what was it, Genolite rust removal. I haven't used the crust one, but that's done, and then we hammerite it white. Right, so after painting all the area that was rusty, we've got it in position, and I've marked basically the areas that have got to be cut out. So we've got the 4 points, which are, I assume, these ones, which are sort of south tappers. So we've got a tiny drill, and we're going to drill 4 of those, make sure they're sorted. And in the middle, where the main section goes, obviously we've got that sort of area. So I've marked it, and I'm going to cut out basically that whole chunk there. That'll be where the tubes go through. We'll seal up everything else, and the job will be a good one. Oh, we've got to seal that hole up as well. Right, we'll give it a go at drilling. We've got an angle grinder, so next thing you'll see is probably a big hole or a mess or blood. Ha! So there we have the first cut for the centre bit and the corner screws to hold the plate down. All been done, and we're just cutting out the middle section now for the pipe work. All going well. I haven't died yet. Nearly set fire to that bit, but it's all good. Back off. And the second cut along, nice and straight. This is going fine. Using an angle grinder. Safety first, make sure you wear goggles. And there we go with the third cut, the fourth and final cut over here. and we should have the nice hole all ready to start affixing all this rubbish. Get the pipework in there and we'll see how it goes. Right, catch you in a sec. So there we go, that's the piece cut out. So next will be to mount the plate, the pipework, get that through, get it all directed in the right places, clamp the plate down, gum it up. So there we go, that's the hole, and the pipework is going to come through there. Plenty of space for everything. So next will be clean up the hole and put some rust proofing on there before we attach it all together and bolt it in. So there we go, we've dabbed a bit of anti-rust on the cut bits, and the next thing is now attaching the plate to the unit, and we're going to seal it up with a bit of Farmate sealant. So that should all be good. Get some goo under there, and we get that all bolted in. So we want a nice bead of goo around the edge. And we can work on some other bits, like where the exhaust is going to go. We've got to do the fuel tank as well and get that positioned in here and drill a hole through and make sure we don't put it at risk of spilling any. So we get those bits in as we go. I'm going to lock this down. Well, there is the plate fitted and it's sealed round with the Farmate. I've also put a little bit of the fuel tube on and bolted that in nice and tight, ready, because that's going to be fine there. Next I shall attach with a bit of gum as well the air intake, which is fine. I can sort that one out and the length and where it needs to go once it's through there. But as we can see, my exhaust is there, and the exhaust is going to come down, go out that way and come out on this corner. Now the only thing is, when I fill that up with goo and seal it all down, I don't want to make a complete mess around the exhaust, so I've basically retro bent it ready to go. So it's going to be sort of there, as you can see, then comes out there, and I can trim that down obviously and fit it properly. But what I'm going to do first of all is take this, because I'm going to have to gum that all up and then try and put this in attached, already done. I need to know what angle, so I'm going to sort of retro fit it, put it in, see what angle this goes at, make sure it's got enough room, and test fit it, and then we'll see if we can take it out again. Right, we'll catch you when we've put it in the hole. There we go. Got the pipe work at an angle that I can get it in the hole and then bosh it down. So I've sealed the pipes. Got the fuel one. Should be okay. Might get some heat tape and go over that when I do fit the fuel line. Exhaust, well and truly sealed up. I'll give that a little wipe round, but I'm going to let it dry a little bit more. So it should be all good. Next we'll be going in the hole with the fire mate splodged everywhere. Squidge it in there and we're good to go. Okay, so the fuel pipe is now attached, both ends, got the clamp on there, so hopefully that won't leak. We've cleaned up around the exhaust pipe and the intake, and so we're ready now to stick a load of gumph on there and away we go, fit it in. Gonna have to hopefully not get that covered in muck when I feed it through. These two should be fine. Well, we'll see how it goes. Right, let's get a lovely bit of sealant in there. We're going to fill up all of these gap bits and along here, so we are going to get a lot of squishy come through, which we'll clean out from underneath. Right, I think that will do for a start, and then we can pack it all in with our fingers and stuff. Oops, sorry. In you go. Right. Get some screws in. Okay, so we've managed to get in the back screw, which is going to be the hardest because it's in a shitty position. Okay, we got everything. We've got all 4 bolts in. Haven't tightened them up yet. So there we go. I'm going to squidge some of this goo in, tighten it down, let it dry. There we go. The exhaust and the inlet coming out there, and the fuel line, which is going to run along the back here. Back up. There's a little hole now. Next thing is we'll sort out that petrol tank. Alright, let's get this finished. Next on the list, right, we've got to make a couple of holes in there so we can attach. So we shall do that. That's nice and easy. But the next thing, with this fuel tank at the back, you get a solid little panel. We've drilled a 8mm hole, which has got to have obviously a sealed. Let's try and get that to stand up. Basically, this goes inside, and you can see you've got the O-ring there. That goes inside, and another O-ring goes on, and then the bolt. So how do you get that inside? There is a little trick. A piece of string in the hull. So we're gonna chuck that in there through that end. Right, so let me feed all this in and get it through. Okay, there we have drill hole there and through. So now what we've got to do is basically put a bit of string through there, making sure that's the right way round, and then tie a knot on the end, and we can pull it through and hopefully pull it out the hole. We'll try that. Should be fun. Alright, there we go, and we got a nice big knot that should stop it. So we should be able to pull it through. Yes. Right. So get a pair of grips on that and screw it in. So there we go. Got a set of male grips on there. There we go, I think we're right up. That's feeling quite tight. I'm going to over tighten it because we've got another bolt to clamp onto the. That's definitely through. Tighten the string out. We've tightened that up on the inside, and now we need to put the next O-ring on. Making sure that gets clamped up really. Well, the O-ring looks nicely squished in there. Plenty tight enough. Next thing, we'll get a bit of the fuel pipe on there, and we'll make those holes and we'll get it in position. Maybe we will check to see if it leaks first. That might be a good idea. Right, got a small piece of fuel pipe attached, bolted up nicely, it's rock solid. Done the holes, so we're ready to put the tank in. Great. Well, there you go, that is the underneath. I'm going to fill up a few of those gaps where it's sort of ribbed. So we'll fill that up and see what that looks like. Nice. Sealed it all up around there. Now that is a fun, messy job to get your fingers in. So hopefully we're getting no gases or anything coming through from that. The fuel line, as you can see, I've taken it up as far away from the exhaust, around, across, comes out under where the spare wheel is. It's going to follow along there through to the fuel tank. I think we'll take this air intake down and tuck it up. What is it? Tuck it up in there possibly, or go up in here. So we shall see. Right, we've tidied up underneath. Still got the exhaust to do. That's probably the last thing. That's all in. We've got the electrics that's going to run around there, and it's going to be basically put along that bar. Got a hole into the cupboard where you can see fuel line comes through in that corner, and we'll attach up to that one. And then between those two, there's another bit of line we'll attach between the two, which will hold that down with the fuel filter. The electrics are going to run along underneath where that's going to be, and power will come through from there. The actual on-off switch I should probably put up inside here so it's out of the way, so it'll go up on the wall there. So most of the wires will be on that back wall from there, and I think that's it. Like I said, the exhaust I might just chop off and not even bother with the exhaust bit that they give, because they're crap, or I may customise it a bit, but I'm leaving that for the moment. So we're virtually there. Once it's all connected up and I've got some diesel, and we'll fire it up. Woohoo! Loving it. Right, we're back on the job. This is all set pretty well. Haven't done any more underneath. There's the wiring going through, but I have put the fuel tank in. I haven't bolted it in yet. I'm deciding exactly what angle I'm going to put it at. There we go, there's the connector through to the fuel, and then the pump, and the fuel will pump down there. Now, I did fire it up and my batteries were fairly dead, so I've put the battery charger on, because first of all I got in and nothing come on. This does light up, but nothing worked, and I was like, oh Christ, it's not working. So I've got to fit this at the moment. That is the Alive going through to the leisure batteries. So I've got fuel in there now, there's no leaks, so we're going to try and start it up for the first time. But like I said, the battery power died on me, so I've got a charger on it at the moment. I'm not sure if that will boost it enough that it would work from starting it or starting the van up. Let's have a look. Right, we've got the van on at the moment. Basically giving it a charge up as well. Batteries were very low on it, too low to run it. So I did have a problem. The pump wasn't working. I've just messed with the connector and it seems to be working now. So we're going to put it on and hopefully we'll start getting some fuel through even. Fuel pump is working. I've read the instructions and how to pre-prime it, so that helps. Few bubbles and that in there at the moment. This is the second time I've done it. You basically have to hold the off button for 3 seconds. We shall see once it's all primed up the second time I've done it, and we'll see if it then fires up. So, stopped in, so what we do, start it again. Get all these bubbles out. Right, hopefully we'll see some exhaust fumes coming out once it's started. Okay, so I've primed it like 3 times. There was just a load of fuel coming out at the end and a little puff of smoke, so it's probably flooded it a bit, I don't know. Still on at the moment, so I'm hoping it will chug in a sec. I might have primed it a little bit too much, but we'll see. Oh, it's starting to get warm. It's starting to be warm air. It's on full at the moment. I'm just going to leave it on that so it can burn off this extra fuel. But I think we got it working. Yep, that's tickety ticking. Yay, it's all working. Awesome. Oh yeah, blowing some nice warm air there, and obviously burning off the diesel, the extra diesel. Yeah, I think I definitely over primed it. Whoa, jeez, that's some seriously warm air coming out of there. Be able to fix the old pipe on there. Gonna be awesome. So there we go, it's cleared the extra fuel that pumped through it. Oh, now we'll smoke this. It's pumping out. Let's turn it down. Still lovely, lush, warm air coming in. We'll sort the exhaust pipe out, but it's all running, so we're basically job done. Bolt that into the sides, a couple of minutes, and then job done. So there we go. We tidy up the wires. Tidy up underneath, we'll put the exhaust pipe on. I'll do a last little clip of it all finally fitted in, the electrics put in properly, etc. But that is generally it. Okay, we've completely fitted now, everything's done. As you can see, that is the ducting. I've tucked it around the pole there, comes around, connects up. The wiring is now in that ducting. Comes through into more ducting. Fuel tank is all bolted into the side there. I will put a piece of MDMF or whatever it is, possibly covering that just so it doesn't get knocked, but I have got other things that go in there that will completely cover it anyway. So, and there's the controller up there flashing. So on, off and all that business in the cupboard, out the way so I can get through to it from the cupboard door that side. So, and of course, most important, carbon monoxide alarm. But yeah, works perfectly underneath. We tidied it all up. It's the exhaust, fuel line and the air intake, which tucked up nicely in there. So that seems to work out perfect. Exhaust was a bit of a pain in the ass, but there we go. So yeah, all working. That's how you fit it in. Nice tidy place to put it. Keeps all the room underneath the rock and roll bed. So and it'll pump out the air straight under there. Top job. Right, we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and all that business, please. It don't cost you nothing. Get on.